Good evening. Welcome to my news edition at LRC's News, dateline June 20. Officers of the erstwhile State Bank of Hyderabad met with disappointment when Justice Nagesh Bhimapaka of the Telangana High Court rejected a writ plea of theirs seeking parity in certain service particulars on their merger with the State Bank of India. The association representing officers of the State Bank of Hyderabad would complain that there were certain service parity that they were entitled to since such benefits were given on such merger for employees of the State Bank at Indore and the State Bank of Patiala. They would complain that they were similarly situated and were entitled to the same benefits. Rejecting the said claim, Justice Nagesh Bhimapaka said that this was a matter of policy and it was for the State Bank of India on such merger to decide their service particulars. The judge said that matters of policy exercising jurisdiction under Article 226 was unwarranted. Justice T. Vinod Kumar directed the police to grant police protection to Kotla Bhargavi, whose husband was a victim to honor killing. Bhargavi's case before the police is that she belonged to the BC community of the Gaud community, while her late husband was a scheduled caste person. She would say that her husband was a victim of honor killing and the accused persons are now in prison. She complained that ever since the accused were apprehended and were put in jail under trial, she has been receiving multiple complaints, multiple threats, saying that she would face the same fate as her late husband did. C. Raghunath, senior counsel, appearing for the petitioner, would point out that the provisions of the SCST Prevention of Atrocities Act required the government to protect victims from threats, coercion, intimidation, inducement, and in a case of this kind, protection is a given statutorily. Justice Vinod Kumar granted her the interim order and directed the police to ensure that she is protected. Raghunath also proceeded to argue on the larger issue that something must be done about the growing trend of honor killings in our society. Question as to whether undergrad courses will fall within a centralized pool for undergoing counseling by governmental authorities came up for consideration again in the academic year for 25-26 when Ashok Sailaja Education Society moved a writ plea before the State High Court, reiterating or echoing the argument that multiple colleges over the past few years have been stating before the High Court. They allege that this requirement that admission should go on only through a centralized process is without the authority of law and ate into the independence of colleges having to run their own colleges. The management of Ashok Sailaja Education Society runs Ashoka College of Business Management. They insist that this would seriously interfere with their autonomy, independence, and that the order was without legal authority. Justice Lakshman admitted the case and is in the process of hearing the matter. A two-judge panel of the Telangana High Court, comprising Acting Chief Justice Sujay Paul and Justice Y. Renuka, took on file a writ plea filed by Bachepalli Lakshma Reddy on the question as to whether a retail dealer licensed under the Civil Supplies Order could canvass and participate in the electoral process. His complaint was that a show cause notice was given to him in exercise of Clause 17 of the Telangana State Public Distribution System Control Order, which prohibited licensees from canvassing or participating in electoral elections. The panel said that the issue was no longer res integra. They founded a methodology by which such limitations on liberty were placed by statute. They said it was archaic law in a democracy. They in fact further added that there was no allegation that such participation affected the public distribution system. The panel said that to a show cause notice to which the petitioners already replied, no further orders will be passed if no orders have already been made in this regard. With this, I'll sign off for today, wishing you a nice long weekend, happy weekend, with acknowledgements to Sahid. Bye-bye.